Madome is putting the romance back in slavery. Yeah, I think elves should have rights. Yes, it's a common isekai fantasy world trope to include slavery in some form. The hidden anime agenda is to get people to believe slavery wasn't that bad, through subliminal messaging and cute anime girls. But in a sea of chains and whips, Madome is different. The main character doesn't just own his love interest, he also owns his enemies. Heck, he even owns his daughter, which is a perfectly acceptable way to get a family if your social skills are on par with a rock. This is What to Watch, and today we're looking at an Archdemon's dilemma: how to love your elf bride, which is, if we're being honest, a spoiler, since he only becomes an Archdemon in like episode 5. Madome, which sounds creepy on synopsis alone, was actually one of the funnier and romantic cutesy shows this season. The basic premise is that sorcerers are largely evil intellectuals who will almost do anything to enhance their knowledge and power, which includes making human sacrifices for the sake of magic. On a whim, 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻𝓂, an up-and-coming but anti-social sorcerer, is convinced to go on an auction by his only friend. Once there, he instantly falls in love with 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻𝓂, an elf being sold as high-quality sacrifice material. Most of the intro is him trying to convince her that he doesn't really plan on using her as ingredients for his dark arts.
普段は使わん部屋だ。多少汚れてるかもしれんが。
どうぞ、ご主人様のお望みのまま。
違うからな。
And the two very quickly fall in love. There's also a mini war between sorcerers and the church, but the plot is more of a vehicle for their developing love. The world of Madome is dark, with children being used as test subjects and evil characters. This guy steals faces. 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻𝓂 and 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻 both have tragic backstories, but overall the anime itself isn't dark. Due to the comedy, romance, and how almost every situation is resolved with some level of peace, this is a great anime to watch with your friends or partner if you don't want anything too heavy, or you want to feel like a hamster in a sauna. Relaxed. 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻, like many fantasy characters recently, feels OP or FRIP. He is smart enough to plan ahead of his enemies, and even if he doesn't, he's strong enough to brute force himself out of any tough situation. Due to that, you never really feel like him or his allies are in any major danger. There is whispers of a nefarious return of evil forces that are beyond his control, but that will become apparent as you lose yourself in the world of magic. The world itself has bits of information fed to you very subtly. The anime isn't really plot heavy as it mostly introduces you to the main characters, but the lore's there, just under the surface, and it's a great way to sow the seeds of interest as it builds into a more meaty Season 2. 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻 and 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿 are both broken from their childhoods, with their innocence and love denied. So although they're both naive, it's extremely heartwarming watching them both let down their guards eventually and slowly falling in love. Though they haven't been able to admit it yet, it's the most wholesome thing watching their lives become entangled and seeing how daring their open affection becomes. The anime is its funniest in the first few episodes, where it's full of good comedic timing and just plain chaos. The facial expressions and reactions are completely on point. The rest of the anime is consistent, but you'll get the best moments then, with the other episodes filling in more of the characters and the plot. The anime is at its absolute best when 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻 and 𝓼𝓵𝓪𝓿𝓮𝓻 are just being third graders discovering that their crush has a crush, and it's each other. You have no idea how much I changed that sentence at 2 a.m. last night, because the pronouns were beating me senseless, like police at a wellness check. It's just me and my disabled mother. We're unarmed.
Unarmed?
You'll be able to capture the essence of the anime within an episode, which is honestly great. It's straightforward in its plot, with the story progressing at a good pace and side characters who don't really want to make you pull out your hair. Trust me, that's rare. For what it's trying to do and how it presents itself, I'm gonna say that I have very minimal complaints, The animation could be better in some areas with some extra additions to the fight scenes, but that could also detract from the cute nature and aspect of the show. I like the show, like how someone likes seeing their dog wag their tail when you get home. I just got a new puppy. It gives me a warm fuzzy feeling. It could give that warm feeling to you too. Or that could be the heartburn of the 4th Burger King this week. Checking the wattage on the watt meter and we get 68. A solid show, which I enjoyed. Wow. The animation is suitable, the music does its job, and the plot is acceptable for now. The characters and relationships do really carry this anime. Honestly, it's a great setup for an intense season 2. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm on my way to the auction house to get myself a new child. Cheers.